it or anything. When the roots come out, then you give it some water here and there. Then you just wait about 6 to 12 more years for some coconuts. So be a little patient. But when that tree does fruit, you're going to get 100 coconuts about every year off of that coconut tree. So looking at our coconut trees going through on this side, do you see all those rings or ridges going around the tree trunk, all those circles? One ring represents 1 year in the coconut tree's life. So they go on for literally hundreds of years. And of course, you want to be very careful next to the fully loaded coconut trees because all coconuts are self-harvesting. When they're ready, any color, anytime, they're just going to drop to the ground. And the younger green, yellow coconuts are the heaviest. They hold the most water. They'll get up to anywhere from 10 to 25 pounds. So if you can imagine that weight of like a bowling ball falling off one of these onto your car, your house, or your head, no fun, right? But you don't have to worry here. So you have this big net above your head to catch them all. I'm just kidding, it's for shape. If you look at the trees, there's no coconuts up there. We trim them very regularly. There's actually a law in Hawaii for all our public areas, their coconut trees to be trimmed every few months. So, our beaches, our parks are perfectly safe from coconuts. Private areas, up to the owner, so double check those trees before doing anything. But now I can husk this open for you. When you husk a coconut, you want to start from this front end. We call this the pico, P-I-K-O. Everybody say pico?
Pico.
Very good. We all have a pico because that translates into belly button, or the name. Kind of looks like. In the old days, to husk coconuts, they just needed a strong stick. They would smooth it to the same shape as this head of a pickaxe we have welded here to the table. Like I said, you start on the pico end, and that way this husk is going to open up basically kind of like a flower will open. And it's very windy, so the husk tends to fly with the wind. So if you have to move to avoid it getting in your eyes, please go ahead and do so. But at this brown stage, the shell of the seed on the inside, that is fully formed. So the pickaxe is going to just bounce right around it. It's not going to puncture this seed at all. It's kind of like a very hard wood at this stage. A lot of us humans as well are very competitive, so there's some pretty fun husking records in Hawaii. Over on the island of Oahu, there is a big Samoan guy. He works at the Polynesian Cultural Center for the PCC. That man can husk a coconut in literally 3 seconds. Yeah, way faster than me. I have seen him do it live, but if you don't believe me, there is a really short video of him on YouTube. He didn't just, we like to call him a cheater though, because he uses a machete. So 3 quick chops, he has this right open, and he's got way bigger muscles than me or my coworkers, so that as well. There's also a woman here on Maui known for her husking record. She lives over in Lahaina on the west side. She can husk this in about 2-3 minutes, so not as fast as 3 seconds. But what is impressive is her technique. That woman will not use a pickaxe or a machete, but instead she does use her teeth to husk her coconuts. Yeah, she also has videos online, but your discretion advised for those. Those videos can be a little bit cringier to watch. She used to do shows over on Front Street in Lahaina, but she retired a few years back, and I myself, I have not met her before, neither have my coworkers, so for all we know, she could still have the world's nicest smile, or be missing all of her teeth, you never know. But once you start to remove the husk from the coconut, then it no longer will grow into a tree. So it needs that husk to stay intact to get to that stage. So, don't go to the grocery stores, buy these fuzzy ones and toss them in the yard expecting a tree, because you're just going to end up with a moldy coconut as well. But now that we have all of the husk off, we can pass some of it around. You can check it out if you want. There we go. So let me tear off some pieces. Alright, so we can start on the ends and then pass them towards the middle. That way everybody can check it out if they want. You can even pull some fibers off for yourself to keep. We have a lot to go around. I know it kind of looks like trash, but it is very useful. What the Hawaiians would do is pull all of these fibers off strand by strand. Then they could braid it, weave it to make some super strong rope. So you take some fibers off for yourself and you just twist it a couple of times. You'll see it's going to be very durable. Even when wet, this rope is not going to break apart. So they could use it for tying their tools together, roofs of houses down, even canoes to last those long sea voyages. And when it's dry, this is an amazing fire starter. So this will light up very easily, very quickly. Then all of the smoke that comes off of that burning husk, that's going to be a great mosquito repellent. Bugs cannot stand the smell of that smoke, and neither can humans. So it's good people repellent. It is really stinky when you light it on fire. Be cautious. It kind of smells like burning goat hairs. So if you want the whole beach to yourselves, just grab one of these, light it up. Nobody bothers you after that. But you can keep passing it around or toss it back on the stage if you're finished. I'm just going to show you next, thank you, that every coconut in the world at this brown stage, they're all going to have this very tiny, kind of funny little face. So 2 eyes and a mouth, kind of looks like a bowling ball, puffer fish, maybe a monkey's face or a seal. One coworker loves to say it looks like her ex-husband. But if you take a pointy object like a screwdriver or an ice pick and you poke at the eyes of the coconut, you'll find that it might stick a little bit or puncture those eyes, but really it's not going to go all the way through. These eyes are a super hard part of the coconut. Now if you ever poke into the mouth, you know it's the mouth because it always goes in with very little effort. And that's because the mouth is the germinal spore where the tree grows out from the coconut. I don't know if you saw that kind of white thing that was in there. That was the beginning of the new tree. That will start out small in the mouth, soak up all the moisture, roots will shoot out of it. You just want to be careful because it's where bugs can make their way in. So if you have your own coconut, there's some slime oozing out of it, don't crack it open or you're going to find maggots waiting on the inside. Yeah, I've had some pretty interesting tours in the past. If you look back there, you can see all the rotten ones we've thrown away over the years. So I think we're safe for today. So I just widen open up the mouth. We can check and see just how much liquid was left on the inside of this. Yeah, so this is coconut water. You can drink at any stage of the coconut, but the green, yellow, younger coconuts are going to have way more water, and their water is going to be clear, sweet, very hydrating. So that's all the coconut water you'll find in the stores, yeah? You can still drink this water from a brown one, but it's been in here for about a year. So this water, way more fermented. It's going to be cloudy, sour, not as hydrating, but it is a great natural laxative. So a few tablespoons of this, you're good to go. If you drink the whole thing, you might want to run. You will get a surprise in about 10-15 minutes. So please no tackling after the demonstration, okay? Next though, I'll show you the easiest way to crack this open. You just need something blunt like a hammer or a lava rock like this. And then you look for the eyes. Between the eyes, there's this kind of line or a prominent ridge running front to back. That is the next softest spot of the coconut. Take your hammer or your lava rock and you hit on the line or just to the side. You crack it in less than a minute, so very quickly. Or just one crack, just like that. Yeah, once you hear the crack, you follow it around so the edges meet. Be careful not to pinch your hands as you hit the coconut. And eventually, this is going to pop right
А мы как блохи молотком херачим.
Don't worry, I do not work out at all. It takes a lot of muscle when you find the right spot. And this in here fell out of the mouth. This is that plant I was talking about. So this is what starts out in the mouth, fills up this whole space, and this is where the tree and roots will come out of the coconut.
Это финичка куда начнет.
But after you get a coconut open, you want to look for something like this. Bright white meat, no sliminess, no discoloration. Kind of tastes like a sweet almond, so very delicious. I don't know though if you've tried to remove the meat from brown coconuts before. Yeah, don't use your nice silverware. You might break your butter knives right in half. This is super hard and very stuck to the shell. So in the old days, they would find seashells and scrape at the meat for hours. Today though, please do not do all that work. One guest on this tour told me he had to get stitches in his head from trying to get the meat out of coconut. So please be careful. All you have to do is put this in the freezer. So if you take the halves, put them back together, leave it in there for 6 to 8 hours, take it out, let it thaw. By the time it finishes thawing, this meat should pop right off of the shell. That's because there's all this coconut milk, all the moisture in the meat. Kind of expands as it freezes, and then when it thaws, it will naturally shrink off the shell. And then you just put it in a blender, shred it up, and squeeze it through a cheesecloth for your coconut milk. Anybody use coconut oil by chance? Yep, personally love coconut oil. Good for your skin, your hair, for cooking. You just let the milk sit somewhere warm for a few days, and top layer when it separates will be the oil. Only catch for the oil is one coconut. Even those
добычей
huge ones,
кокоса в
these will
молоко
give you
поставить на
about
несколько
a
там
shot
дней,
glass
и там
at the
сверху
most.
образуется
So,
масло.
if you on your own for not a lot of money, you just gotta be patient. Wait about 6 years for your tree to grow. But